Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another social emotional wellness episode. My name is Toni Curitan, and today I'd like to share some information on how to deal with peer pressure. So, dealing with peer pressure is a common challenge, especially during adolescence, but it can occur at any stage of life. Learning how to handle peer pressure effectively is crucial for maintaining your integrity, making responsible decisions, and staying true to your values. Today, I'd like to share some tips on how you can navigate and cope with peer pressure. So, peer pressure is the influence exerted by an individual or a group of people to encourage someone to change their attitudes, their values, or their behaviors to conform to the ideas or the thinking or the way the group wants to go. There are many different types of peer pressure. The first one is direct peer pressure. And that's when someone explicitly tells you or urges you to do something, often against your will or better judgment. Next is indirect peer pressure. And that's when you feel pressured to conform simply by observing the actions of your peers, even if they don't say anything directly to you. Next, there is positive peer pressure. When peers encourage you to make positive choices like studying harder or participating in healthy activities, that's called positive peer pressure. And then there's negative peer pressure. And that's when peers encourage you to engage in harmful or risky behaviors, such as substance abuse or skipping school, or being mean or unkind to someone. You need to recognize the signs of peer pressure. The signs of peer pressure include feeling uncomfortable. If you are feeling uneasy or anxious or uncertain about a situation, it might be a sign of peer pressure. Also, if you are worried about losing friends or being rejected and excluded, if you don't go along with the group or what a person is requesting, you're likely experiencing peer pressure. Also, when you find yourself doing things that go against your morals or belief, peer pressure is definitely at play. And if you're making excuses for doing something you know isn't right, you might be succumbing to peer pressure. So, what are some strategies for dealing with peer pressure? Well, you need to understand what's important to you, whether it's honesty, integrity, health, or education. When you're clear about your values, it's easier to make decisions that align with them. Be confident in your beliefs and stand by them, even if it means standing out or saying no to other people. You also need to be assertive. Learn to say no firmly and confidently without feeling guilty. Practice it in front of a mirror or with a friend if you find it difficult. Make sure you use I statements when you are saying no. Frame your response in a way that reflects your perspective. For example, you could say, I don't want to do that, or I'm not comfortable with that. You can also provide an alternative. If you're declining an activity, suggest something else. For example, if you're asked to skip school, you could say, nah, how about we hang out after school instead? You also need to know your triggers. Identify situations where you are likely to face peer pressure and avoid them if possible. If you know you're going to be in a situation where peer pressure is likely, think about how you'll handle it in advance. Having a plan can make it easier to stick to your decisions. Also, you need to surround yourself with people who respect your choices and share your similar values. It's easier to resist peer pressure when you're with supportive friends. You also need to sometimes deflect a situation with humor or by creating an excuse. For example, you can make a joke, a lighthearted joke, and that will help you say no without making the situation awkward. You could say, nah, I'm not that brave, or I'm too boring for that kind of an adventure. If you're uncomfortable with confrontation, you can also create a situation like, no, I'm not able to do that because I've got plans to meet with my family. That makes declining opportunities to do things you don't want a lot easier. Next, you need to seek support from trusted adults. Talk to a mentor if you're struggling with peer pressure. Talk to a parent or a teacher or a counselor or another trusted adult or someone in authority. They can offer advice and help you navigate challenging situations. Also, build a solid support system around you. Surround yourself with positive influences. Include friends and adults who support your values and decisions. Also, practice your confidence. Work on self-esteem. The more confident you are in yourself, the less likely you will be swayed by others. Focus on your strengths and your accomplishments to boost your self-esteem. Next, you have to be true to yourself. Authenticity is powerful. When you stay true to who you are, others are more likely to respect you, even if they don't agree with your choices. A few long-term strategies include making skilled decision-making tactics. You can practice making decisions on low-pressure situations so that you're better prepared to handle peer pressure when it arises. You should also reflect on the consequences. Before giving in to peer pressure, think about potential consequences of your actions. Will it harm your reputation, health, or relationships, or even someone else? You should also learn from your experiences. Reflect on past experiences with peer pressure. What worked? What didn't? And how can you improve your responses in the future? And then you need to develop some critical thinking. Question why others are pressuring you to do something. Are they really thinking about what's best for you, or are they acting out of their own insecurities and desires? You should also consider being a positive peer influence. Be a role model. Lead by example. Stand out in the crowd. Take up for yourself. If you make positive choices, you can influence others to do the same. Also, be an encouragement to others. If you see friends struggling with peer pressure, support them in making positive decisions. Sometimes just knowing someone else feels the same way you do can make a big difference. So, your key takeaways: dealing with peer pressure is an essential life skill that requires self-awareness, confidence, and the ability to make decisions that align with your values. By understanding the nature of peer pressure and developing strategies to resist it, you can maintain your integrity, build strong and positive relationships, and lead a life that's true to you. Remember, it is okay to say no, and it's important to surround yourself with people who respect and support your choices. If you need any resources, some good places to seek professional help if you need it, therapy, counseling, a mental health professional can help provide guidance, support, and coping strategies that would be tailored to suit your specific needs. You can contact CARE of Southeastern Michigan. They're located on Utica Road in Fraser. Or you can contact Live Right Recovery Resource Center. They're located on Gratiot Avenue in Roseville. Their numbers are here on the screen. Well, friends, that is my time for today. I hope this information helps you on your self-care journey. If you need more information on resources on how to deal with peer pressure, click on the link below and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching. Again, my name is Toni Curitan, and I will see you next time